So we've got a little bit to get through today. We've only got a very short period of time, so obviously I'm going to put slides up. I won't talk through every slide because you'll be able to read it. But what we're doing is at the end we've got a stand that's up the stairs. If there's anything you need to go into more detail, you need to ask questions. Obviously, come up and see us afterwards. So let's start. Just something about Solomon Global. I don't know who was here last year, but we're an award-winning supplier of physical gold and silver to the general public. We work in a way that we offer, we believe, a bespoke consultative approach to customers. So rather than just take orders, what we like to try and do is give more information, find out what a customer is actually looking for, and then give recommendations about the gold. Obviously, we're not regulated, so we can't give any sort of thoughts with regard to the overall financial situation of somebody. Competitive rates, obviously we'd say that we are very competitive along with the rest of the market, but we look to be the best in the market where we can be. Somebody put institutional grade logistics. I had no idea what that meant, but I'm told what it means is that we have secure delivery or insured delivery and secure payments, so nobody has to worry. A lot of the purchase that we do is over the phone, so a lot of customers deal with us, so they can come and see us, but they deal with us on the phone. We obviously are very proud of our customer service, and we feel we've got a very good FIFO rating, among other things. I'm not going to spend much time on that because obviously if you've dealt with us, hopefully you'll feel the same way. If you haven't, hopefully you will feel the same way. So one of the things that we wanted to go through today was why are people investing in gold? And what we did was we did a survey of just under 14,000 of our, not necessarily all our customers, but people who registered on our sites, on our website, who are interested in gold. And as you can see, I've got some other slides to discuss this, but as you can see, tax efficiency was over 44% said they're interested in tax efficiency. Annual growth, which you might expect, 25%. Wealth protection, just under 25%. And inflation hedge, which we'll discuss in a minute, but was a small percentage. I'm surprised that many people said that at all, to be honest. So everybody knows that the buying power of a pound in our pocket has significantly reduced over the period of time. My background is nearly 30 years in financial services, so I would have used this sort of figure quite often. So what it's telling us is that the pound doesn't buy as much as it used to. I would imagine that 5% at the end that said they were looking at hedging their investments may well have used this or thought about this as one of the reasons they went into gold. You cannot ignore the long-term effect, of course, of inflation on the pound in your pocket. Obviously, the Iran-USA conflict hasn't helped, and there are further increases in inflation are forecast. So, as I say, I think that's a fairly obvious one. Everybody will also know that the one-year gold price has gone up extremely well. In fact, the last 2 years have been really surprising on the growth. We're looking at a 60% growth in gold prices in 2025. So again, it's not surprising that over 25% of the people we surveyed mentioned that annual growth was a reason for them looking at buying gold. So that's quite a good picture. Obviously, you can see the drop right at the end, but then it sort of resettles itself. This, I think, I always look at this as the more interesting, with any investments or anything that you're doing long term, this is the more important figure. So what it's giving you is a 25-year gold price, which has had an annual growth of 12.1%, which again is no wonder why it's seen as a long-term protection of wealth, and nearly 25% of people surveyed mention wealth protection. When I first started in the financial services industry back in 1985, if I could have said to a customer, we're going to give you 12.1% return year on year all the way through, I'd be in Barbados now on a beach, retired, because every customer would have come looking to talk to us on that. Because we've only got a certain period of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to my colleague Faz Azari, who will be covering why gold is popular for tax efficiency, which is one of the other areas we didn't mention yet. He'll have insights into our most precious metal products, and Faz will go through that, and then I'll jump on at the end and just finish off with a few different thoughts. So I'll hand over to Faz now.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're ready for a bit of information on gold. And are you here for the silent disco as well, I believe? Okay, I'm going to go through a few slides now. And thank you again, Paul, for the introduction. First and foremost, gold, the bullion bars, gold bars. It's what most people think about when they think of gold, you know, whether it's films or anything. It's the first thing that comes to mind. We specialize in physical gold, okay? Not ETFs, physical gold. It's very different. It's very different to an ETF. You saw before, over the timeline, physical gold acts in a certain way. Some people want the growth, some people want certainty. What you'd also have seen in Paul's slide was a timeline. Have things got more uncertain in the last 25, 26 years? Now? So physical gold, what that gives is firstly, low premiums, okay? It's free of VAT. These are gold bullion bars, okay? It's popular, but it's subject to capital gains tax. So whilst people think of bullion, first and foremost, they don't realise that it's subject to tax. So any profits you make are subject to capital gains tax. Can't put it in an ISA, it's physical gold. So why do people come to Sullivan Global? Why do people buy gold? They want to have the advantage of certainty and security, but also there are some tax advantages. Royal Mint coins, gold coins, they're exempt from capital gains tax and VAT. That's 20% using sales tax here straight away, factored in. It's easy to store. If you look at the coin in your pocket, I don't think I've got many coins. I don't have any coins in my pocket these days, but it's very small. It's easy to store, depending on how much you buy. It's also popular with coin collectors. The Royal Mint has been going for over 1,000 years. Some of the coins that we offer, sovereigns, Britannias, we see there each of these has a certain insignia. So for example, you see the Queen's Lion. You know, these were designed by artists. The Georgian Dragon, the current Georgian Dragon, there's one coming out soon actually. They're designed by artists. The Queen's Beast. So what does that impact? You know, what's the importance of that? It's been around forever. The Georgian Dragon was since 1817. You know, when the first sovereign was minted. So this is something that stands the test of time. If you think about the Tudor beasts, or at the very top of the picture, you see the image of Queen Elizabeth II on the Queen's Beast Completer series. Okay, you have all the beasts, whether it's the Queen's Lion, the British Lion, topical this year, of course, and these coins. The reason I mention this is because there's an element of scarcity. Something that comes with gold is scarcity. You know, certainty, having something as a safe haven. Having something from a Royal Mint, which has been around forever, is also something that some collectors, you know, they're either doing it for investment or they want to pass it down to somebody younger. Inheritance tax is another thing that comes into it. Okay? So the series which we're finding really popular right now, and I'm zipping through these, I'm mindful of time, is the legendary creature series, the Loch Ness Monster. This particular coin there's only 5,000 of these worldwide. That's it. So it's a 1 ounce gold coin, okay? An ounce of gold is roughly about £3,500 today per troy ounce. Dollars, it's about 4,000. I think Paul's giving you the statistics. If there are only 5,000 of these in the world, on the planet, and this is the first of a series of three coins that are coming out, it's proving extremely popular, okay, right now, because you've got like 3 dynamics coming into it. If you go back to the coin, the Georgian Dragon, the last of the series was produced, I think that was Dan Thorne. There's a new one coming out, okay? The Georgian Dragon. So if you think about the series, what people come to us for, I mean, you can buy gold everywhere and you can sell it everywhere. It's a liquid product. You don't have to have a broker. You don't have to pay an annual percentage fee. There's no ongoing cost. Add the fact that it's a coin, something that you can store quite easily, something that's free of capital gains tax, inheritance tax. There is something happening right now in the world, which is, they say gold is the currency of war. I don't think it's just what's happening right now. It's the uncertainty which makes these attractive to our collectors. That's what I'm finding anyway. Silver bars is the final piece I'm going to move on to. The silver bars and coins, it's cheaper per ounce. It's often seen, some people say silver's actually undervalued. It's pretty good. It's used a lot in manufacturing. It is harder to store, of course. It's certainly popular with new buyers, and I know it mentions it on the slide. What people don't realise is silver of itself is subject to VAT. So going back to the 20%, unless you have a coin as well, but we can go on to that in a moment. And talking of coins, I'm going to flip onto this. For all you who've come here this morning, we do have a special offer. Okay, if you want to make a note of this, please do take a photo. You can come to our stand. If you use the discount code MIS, for every gold coin you get, we will give you a silver Britannia coin. Okay, so if you notice the Britannia on there, we're at stand 66 to 67. I'm zipping through this a bit. If you do have questions, because I'm trying to give you as much as possible, we have a whole team up there who can run through every single aspect, whether it's the bars, the 1 ounce coins. Where do I store these? Do I have it at home in a safe? Do you offer safety deposit boxes? All of these questions we'll answer, but in short, people have safes. We have relationships with internationally accredited safety deposit box firms. Okay, you can even use your bank. So the first thing I'd say is the special offer for the Master Investor Show is with every qualifying purchase a gold coin. But I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
Sorry, we are rushing against time. I thought we would be. Hopefully you found that interesting. What we're doing on this stage actually at 12:20 is interviewing market experts Clem Chambers and Ross Norman. So that's everything about gold. So if you wanted to get a bit more information, please come to this stage at 12:20. Clem and Ross will be providing. Sorry, should have done wrong one. Clem and Ross will be providing gold market analysis and forecasts. Obviously, as a bullion dealer, supplier, our job is to deliver gold securely. But what we try to do is also provide access to useful, interesting content produced by independent market analysts, hence this. Finally, you've probably seen his photo around when you've come in. We're delighted to be working in partnership with Sir Geoff Hurst. To celebrate this, we are giving away a signed Sir Geoff Hurst England shirt. All you need to do is come up to our stand, obviously with your card, and click in. We're on stand 66, 67. So hopefully we'll see you up there. And as Fars said, we've got some guys up there that can go into more detail, answer some more questions that you might need. So thank you very much, and hopefully enjoy your day. Thank you. Bye.